Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. The full Feixiao kit was finally released today, despite the rumors that have been circulating for so long. As usual, in this video I will show you the full Feixiao kit released in version 2.5 beta. Many people have been saying that this Feixiao looks very strong, and it seems like it will be just as strong as Acheron. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Do you have a character or weapon in the game that you really want but you don't have enough stellar jades? Here is a smarter way to recharge your favorite games like Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail. Look no further than Loot Bar. Loot Bar is the most reliable top-up platform, saving 20% for all orders compared with the official channel, and an extra 5% off for your first purchase. It's 100% safe as you will only be using your UID. We will buy a pack for 3000 stellar jades for $42, which otherwise would have cost $50, totally saving $7.5. We received the crystals we purchased in less than 3 minutes. All recharge will be done through the official channel with MiHoYo, which allows you to enjoy all top-up offers. Ready to level up your gaming experience? Check the link in the description to get the amazing discount. Okay, first things first, let's talk about the basic attack. As with most units, Feixiao's basic attacks only deal with damage equivalent to 50% of Feixiao's attack to a single target enemy. This seems normal because there's no effect, so let's just skip it. Next, let's look at the War Axe skill. Performing this skill will result in Feixiao dealing 120% of her attack to a single target enemy, then advancing another 5%. If we look at the percentage on single target skills, we can see that some of them can even reach 300%. This is one of the single target skills that is quite good. Even compared to Boot Hill's enhanced basic attack, this skill has greater potential damage. Plus, with the additional effect that gives advance forward to yourself, this is a big plus for Feixiao. By releasing this skill, Feixiao can easily get a turn back, especially with the very high speed she has. Okay, next on the agenda is her ultimate. Frankly, the first time I laid eyes on Feixiao's ultimate kit, I was taken aback. How could I not be? The damage she can do with her ultimate is pretty impressive, up to 2000%. This is pretty unreasonable and arguably one of the kits with the biggest damage at this time. It's true that the ultimate in her kit is a bit tricky. If you look at the full description, the 2000% listed is the maximum damage, which means there are a few conditions that need to be met to reach that number. On top of that, the ultimate, called Terra Split, is made up of several parts. This ultimate uses a stacking system that's similar to Acheron's. The more flying areas Feixiao owns, the more damage she will generate with this ultimate. The more flying areas we have, the greater the damage produced. What's also great about this ultimate is that Feixiao will still reduce enemy toughness regardless of the element. This is similarly to Acheron's ultimate, where she will still reduce the enemy's toughness even though the enemy's weakness is not lightning. With a kit this good, we can see that Feixiao will be a very good unit at this time. Okay, next we will look at the talent called Thunderbolt. This talent goes into more detail about the stacking system called Flying Areas. It's a bit like ultimate system that Acheron owns. If the flying areas touch 6 points with a maximum of 12 points, then the ultimate can be activated. This shows that Feixiao uses a different energy system to other units. Feixiao gets 1 point of flying areas each time our party members attack twice. Attacks from the ultimate that come from Feixiao won't be counted. It's pretty clear that Feixiao will be a great fit if you pair it with units that have a high attack frequency, especially ones with full-up attack kits. I'd like to mention a few names here, such as Topaz, Dr. Ratio, Clara, Yunli, Aventurine, and a few others. Is this single target follow-up attacks meta going to be the meta of the moment? I'm not sure. Also, if we look at the next bit of info in her talent, after all party members make an attack, Feixiao will make a follow-up attack on the target attacked by the party member. This effect only applies once per turn Feixiao is owned by. At first glance, the effect of this talent is a bit similar to the talent owned by Kafka, where Kafka will make a follow-up attack on the enemy attacked by the ally for the first time each turn. Next, we will go over the first trace. This is called a Heaven Path. At the start of the battle, Feixiao will get 4 points from flying areas. If no one from your team is active at the start of the turn, Feixiao will get 1 point from flying areas. In my opinion, this trace is pretty unique and stands out from the other units. With this kit, we can at least have Feixiao to issue the ultimate at the beginning of the battle. We already get 4 stacks from flying areas, so we only need 2 more stacks. It's obvious that she will immediately issue her ultimate at the beginning of the battle. On top of that, if no party members are active, Feixiao can help us out with an additional 1 stack every turn. So, if something goes wrong and we're almost defeated by the enemy, Feixiao has a great chance of winning the battle with her ultimate. Pretty cool, right? Next, Form Shift will look at Feixiao's ultimate as a follow-up attack. Is this a good idea? Absolutely! Using Feixiao's ultimate as a follow-up attack will definitely have an impact on several other units. For instance, if Feixiao's ultimate is viewed as a follow-up attack, Acheron will gain an extra stack to execute its follow-up attack. Similarly, Robin will receive additional energy if our allies perform follow-up attacks. There are still several other units that will undoubtedly benefit from this trace, but we will discuss that in a separate video. In the last trace, Feixiao will get an additional 60% critical damage increase when doing follow-up attacks. Needless to say, this also applies to her ultimate. Based on the previous trace, her ultimate will also be considered as a follow-up attack. So it's clear that this will also increase the damage of her ultimate. Not all of her kits contain elements of follow-up attacks, but the addition of critical damage for follow-up attacks will clearly increase Feixiao's damage output. Next, we will go over her technique. Once you've used this technique, Feixiao will enter what we call the onrush state, which lasts for 20 seconds. While in onrush state, this character will attract enemies within range, increase speed by 35%, and get a bonus of 1 flying areas when entering battle. If you attack during the onrush state, you will deal 200% wind damage to all enemies and get a guaranteed critical hit. If you attract more than 1 enemy, the damage you do through this technique will increase by 100% for each additional enemy you attract. I have to say, I think this is a really cool technique. While it might not be as impressive as Acheron's technique, which allows her to defeat enemy directly without entering the battle, Feixiao's technique is still quite effective. She will deal a lot of damage to all enemies in each wave and get guaranteed to crit. Just imagine the damage she will be able to do with this technique. It's going to be huge. Plus, Feixiao will get an extra 35% speed and a stack of flying areas. So she will already have 5 stacks of flying areas at the start of the battle and just need 1 more to be able to use the ultimate. Pretty cool, right? Next, we will take a look at the Eidolons that Feixiao has at her disposal. In the first Eidolons called Skyward Eye Quell, when using the ultimate, every point of flying areas used will increase the final hit received by the enemy by 30% of attack owned by Feixiao. If we do the math, we see that consuming 6 stacks of flying areas will produce 180% additional damage. All things considered, this sounds pretty good, doesn't it? In my opinion though, the second Eidolons Moonward I Wish is the best one to use when Feixiao's banner is released. This Eidolon is pretty impressive because it produces 1 flying areas with each attack. In my opinion, it's a great addition to the lineup. As you can imagine, the Eidolons 2 upgrade allows you to issue the ultimate from Feixiao twice as fast. You don't have to spend a lot of time building up stacks, and this Eidolons 2 will really boost the damage output of Feixiao. What are your thoughts on this? I also think Eidolons 4, which I believe is called Stalwart Eye here, is pretty good. With these Eidolons, every basic attack and skill performed by Feixiao will be considered a follow-up attack. I also think this Eidolons is pretty impressive. Just like I said before, if all the kits owned by Feixiao are considered follow-up attacks, it will have a significant impact on other units, such as Acheron, Robin, Topaz, and several other units in this game. It's a great addition, right? In the last Eidolons called Homeward I Near, we are increasing wind-resistant penetration follow-up attack by 20%, the damage multiplier of the talent's follow-up attack by 360%, and the damage produced through the talent will be considered as ultimate damage. I also think Eidolons 6 is great. All of Feixiao's kit will get this effect because they are all considered full-up attacks. This will significantly increase Feixiao's damage output. Alright, now we are going to wrap up this video with a look at a Lightcone called Venture Forth to Hunt. Using this Lightcone will increase the critical rate of the user by 15%. When a party member uses an attack, the user will get one stack called a Lumin Flux with a maximum of 6 stacks. Each Lumin Flux provides a 9% ignore defense effect for the user's ultimate attack. This effect disappears when the wearer uses their ultimate. I think this Lightcone is great for Feixiao because Feixiao depends on her ultimate. It's not a Lightcone that's suitable for all units with the Hunt type, but it's worth getting if you want maximum damage for your Feixiao. I think that's all for now. Please leave your comments and don't forget to check out my other videos. Thanks for watching and have a great day.